When hiring overseas, understanding US tax forms is critical. Bradley here, head of sales at Globaltize, and in today's video, we're going to break down the W-8 BEN form as well as the 1042S form. These are two very important documents that you will encounter when working with overseas employees. Now let's dive into what each form does and how it can impact your business. First, let's talk about the W-8 BEN form. The W-8 BEN form is filled out by the individual receiving income from a US citizen. If you are hiring a contractor or a vendor outside of United States, this is the form that they would complete. But what is the primary purpose? The primary purpose is to verify the recipient's foreign status and to claim any tax treaty benefits that might reduce the withholding rate on income. But why is this important? Well, the US operates on the concept of withholding tax, meaning the payer is responsible for reducing a percentage of the income to pay to the IRS. The WBEN helps determine the correct withholding rate. This is based on the recipient's country or residence and whether there is a tax treaty between the US and that country. For example, a contractor in France might fill out the W-8 BEN. That contractor in France can then claim a reduced withholding rate. This happens under the US-France tax treaty, and at the end of the day, potentially lowering their tax burden. Now that you have an understanding regarding the W-8 BEN, let's move on to 1042S form. Form 1042S is filled out by the US payer, the business or individual making the payment. This is to report the payments that are being made to the foreign employer and the tax that is being withheld. This form is both crucial for the payer and the payee. As the US payer, you're responsible for submitting the 1042S form to the IRS. You then provide a copy to the foreign payee. But what does this form do? This form will give you the detail of the income that's paid and the tax that is withheld. It will also state the specific treaty tax benefits that is applied. The payee can then use the form to ensure that the correct amount of tax was withheld. So let me break down the technical aspect of this. For instance, if the wrong withholding rate was applied, the foreign contractor can reference the Form 1042S when filing their own tax in their own country, or potentially with the IRS to adjust any discrepancies. So what's the big difference between W-8 BEN and the 1042S? The W-8 BEN is filled out by the foreign recipient, and the 1042S form is filled out by the US payer. When hiring through an employer of record like Globaltize, we will deal with all aspects of employment. So things like payroll, taxes, compliance, benefits, legal contracts, and so much more. If you are looking to hire someone overseas and you don't know where to start, click the link down below, fill out the form, and book a free consultation call with our sales team. We'll design a customizable global hiring strategy for your business completely free.